What is going on? It is 7:45 on Wednesday, and we have arrived in New York City. I just drove to downtown Brooklyn. I just plugged in like a random Planet, or not a random, but I was looking at the Planet Fitnesses in Brooklyn, and I saw there was one downtown, and it looked like a nice area. So I decided to just plug that in the GPS, and I drove here. And I just parked, I guess I'm about a block away from the Planet Fitness. I found a street that had a lot of parking spots open and seemed pretty quiet. There's not a lot of foot traffic. So I just parked here, and I had dinner on the way here. I stopped at a rest stop, was going to make something, but Subway got me. I saw a commercial recently. I thought footlongs were like $6 if you had the app. I asked the guy in there. He's like, I don't know. And so I got the app, and they didn't have the deal, but I got my hopes up at that point. So I just bought a 6-inch sub anyway for like $9, which is pretty good. And I'm excited. I took some crappy B-roll, I think, as I was kind of driving in here. It was just hard to film. Obviously, driving around New York City is tough in general, so I had to focus on the driving and not crash and not take the wrong turns and stuff. I didn't miss a single turn, and definitely didn't crash, but I wasn't really able to get good B-roll. But I don't know, I'm sure I'll be able to salvage some of it together. And it was just really cool seeing the city at night. I think the first time it was going over like the White Horse Bridge or something like that. Just went up on the bridge, and just boom, there was the skyline. And I've been in New York City a large handful of times, and a few times the past couple years, but the skyline's always impressive, and it's just really cool. Even the last time I was here, it didn't like amaze me like it had the year before. I think just having seen it 2 times the year before, because I helped my sister move in, and then my girlfriend Rose and we stayed with my sister like a month after that or whatever. And so last year when we stayed with my sister, it was really cool. New York City is really cool, but the big buildings and the skyline and stuff. I think the skyline everything was still really cool, but it didn't have that when you're a little kid, like, oh my God. But I think I'm just excited for this trip, and I'm excited to kind of, I feel like doing these solo trips and just doing this whole thing in general is very liberating. Like, I'm kind of tapping into my free will, you know what I mean? Like going on typical vacations, and I don't know, it's very different than me just being like, fuck it, let's just stop working for a little while and drive in my car and just travel on my own. And it's very liberating. I think I'm dead. There's someone going on the sidewalk on a moped. It's cracking me up. Not to ruin a nice moment, but it's just very liberating. I feel like it feels very free, just kind of being on my own and being like, screw it, let's just drive to, this sick city. So I don't know. It was really cool seeing the skyline. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I've never been in New York City alone. My sister lives in Brooklyn, so that's nice. I know at least one friend I can think of that lives in New York City. But I'm not here with anyone, and even just walking around New York City with my girlfriend, I don't, even though it's my girlfriend and it's not another guy or something like that. I don't know, there's a level of safety with not being alone. When you're alone, there's just something scary about being alone. Not necessarily scary, but when you're in a more scary setting, I guess, being alone just kind of makes it scary. So I'm a suburbs kid, you know. I don't really have a ton of street smarts. I've spent a ton of time in Boston, obviously, the past few years. Constantly in Boston. I've lived in Boston. I've worked a ton in Boston, hung out a ton in Boston. But I also like hang out in the really nice parts of Boston. And a great thing about Boston is that it's a very safe city. And, you know, the parts that most people think of as Boston are generally pretty safe. And I also haven't been hanging around or spending much time the past like year or so in the parts that can be a little more sketchy. So my street smarts level is like pretty low right now, and I have to navigate living in my car in New York City, which is just such a melting pot. Like I feel like, you know, it's such a nice area, but at the same time, like any part of New York City just like has, you know, whether it's just like kind of people who seem kind of crazy, or they're on drugs, or they're just homeless and in a negative way, like drugged up homeless people, or just violent people, shady people, what's it called? Like, I don't know. It's a city. It's very city. Whereas Boston can be pretty homey and mild, and New York is just loud, and it's just a whole different beast. And living in my car here is definitely going to be very different than living in my car in New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont. I think New Hampshire, Maine, and Vermont is like the opposite of New York City. And that was kind of a cool part of me being like, oh, you know what? Like, all right, I just did 3 weeks here. Like, where do I go next? Total contrast. Like, I was over here, you know, hiking and spending time outdoors and, you know, that kind of thing. And it's like, all right, let's go to the biggest city in the US, and here we are. So anyway, I'm going to stop yapping. It is, it's almost 8. Like I said, it was 7:45 when I started filming, but it's almost 8 o'clock. I left Boston around like 2 o'clock. It took me, what's 8 now? Yeah, it took me just under 6 hours to get here, like 5.5 hours. The ride was supposed to be 5 hours. I drove a little slow because no rush. And I also stopped, got gas, and had a sandwich. So it took me about 5.5 hours. This is not day one. I'm going to be doing, tomorrow will be day one because I got here at night, but I'm just filming a little vlog of me getting here. I don't know if I'm going to film much more tonight. I might not. I probably will, knowing me. It's funny, on the drive here I was very tired. I like wasn't really in the mood, but then once I saw that skyline and I got really excited. I wanted to take B-roll, and now I'm in that vlogging mood. But before I was a little nervous because I think I was just tired and driving, you know, just not sick of driving. It went by pretty fast, but I was like, I don't really want to vlog right now. And my brain started going, oh boy, like, what if you don't want to vlog this whole trip? And, you know, what if vlogging gets old and it becomes a hassle and blah, 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 whatever. I'm already in vlogging mode. I'm filming right now. I'll probably continue to film tonight, even though I'm tired. And even though I don't know if I'm going to make a video on today and just be like day 0. I don't know, whatever, it doesn't matter. This is a new challenge. We did 3 days in Boston. We did 20 days. We did 20 days in northern New England. And now we're going to do 10 days. 10 days. We're going to do 10 days in New York City. Now, I've debated whether or not I'm going to like go to Jersey, all that kind of stuff, whatever. And maybe it's not 10 days in New York. I don't know. I don't think I want to be super strict on myself. I've never vacationed in Jersey, but I've vacationed in New York City a bunch of times. So maybe I'll go to Jersey. Who knows? Whatever. But I'm just going to title this series 10 Days in New York City. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm nervous. I wasn't nervous going into last. I don't think I was really nervous going into the last. Oh no! Oh my god, did I not? Is this not going to record audio? I'm plugged into CarPlay. I'm cooked. At least this is only a 10-minute video. Let me check. Okay, thank God. Some of the times when my phone's plugged into my car and it's on CarPlay, it just doesn't record. It just doesn't record audio. So I just panicked because I'm not even finished editing the 20 days or the 22 days in northern New England. I'm like at like day 11, I think. I don't even know, around day 10. And already I found when my girlfriend Rose came, in between those 2 days, I filmed like 20 minutes or half an hour going over that day and the next day because I wasn't vlogging them. Excuse me, zero audio. It was just me talking and zero audio. And then way more important than that for half an hour of the drive home at the end of the 22 days, I recorded a podcast of my thoughts of like just the whole 22 days. No audio. So I'm glad this audio just recorded because I would not want to have had to re-record that. I like everything to be in the moment. I like it to be my real reactions and kind of just my spontaneous thoughts. Damn, okay, I gotta be careful with that. Also, I doubt it, and I tried to look into it, but if anyone's watching this and just happens to know about the CarPlay thing, like if your phone's plugged into CarPlay and you watch back the video and there's no audio, if there's a way to get that back, please comment and let me know, or if you know me, just like text me. I doubt it, but it's worth asking, I guess. So yeah, it's 8 o'clock on a Wednesday. We're going to be here it's actually going to be 11 days, I'm not going to lie. I plan on staying here for 11 days, 12 days if you include today. But 10 days in New York City. Let's see how this goes. I'll talk to you guys later. I just realized I don't even know what I'm going to do next. I guess I should say that really quick. Sorry, I'm so bad at like I end it and then I'm like, well, I want to add more. Anyway. So I just arrived in Brooklyn. I've already eaten dinner. I think I'm just going to walk around downtown Brooklyn. I don't even know if I've been to downtown Brooklyn. I know I've been to like Dumbo, which is kind of close to here if I'm not mistaken. But I don't think I've ever been to downtown Brooklyn. So it seems like a nice place. I haven't planned anything on this trip. I really haven't done much research, which I know is dumb, but I think I'm going to use tonight to do some of that. And I have a ton of texts, actually, that I missed when I was driving. So I'm going to catch up on those. Then I think I'm going to walk around. Seems like a nice area. I feel comfortable doing that. What I was going to say when it comes to planning is I don't know New York City very well. And I usually, when it comes to vacations and even on the past couple trips, I like being very spontaneous and just walking around or driving around and seeing what I can find or whatever. I know there are bad parts of New York City. I want to avoid those if possible. And I definitely don't want to accidentally find myself in a bad area and in a bad situation. So I'm going to walk around downtown Brooklyn because it seems like a nice place. And yeah, I'll plan later. But I'm going to catch up on some texts. President Donald Trump was elected today. This video is going to come out so far after that because I'm really behind on editing. But Donald Trump was elected today, and my friends were chatting it up in a group chat, so I have to read through that. But anyways, I'm actually going to quit yapping right now because especially now, what the fuck am I even talking about? I'm going to walk around Brooklyn. I'll take some B-roll. And yeah, downtown Brooklyn. I'm excited to walk around. Talk to you later, or if I don't talk to you, which I bet I will talk because Jesus Christ, clearly I'm in a yappy mood. It's because I'm excited. I'll see you in the morning, but it's very likely that I'll talk to you later. So I'll talk to you later. I'm going to shut up now, actually. Or will I? No, I'm just kidding. All right, sorry, I'm just being annoying. Bye.